Welcome to One Up Me Podcast. This is episode 29. We're going to be covering the chilling adventures of Sabrina. Enjoy the show.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to yet another episode of One Up Me. Is that right? Yeah, I said that really weirdly. Episode 29. I am Ryan Smith, joined as always by my wonderful co-host Jordan Mother Eppin Sims. As a door opens and closes.
That's right. Got to add the creepy vibes to the podcast today.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah, it's my sound crew in the back just making noises for me.
Opening and closing doors.
Mm-hmm.
Like, guys, do something different. They're like, no, you only paid us to open and close doors.
That is correct. I can only afford to pay them to open and close doors, but I am doing well.
Get what you can.
That's right.
Okay. So we're going to be talking about Sabrina, the Teenage Witch reboot Netflix show thing.
Yep.
Which is a, I guess, darker and spooky, more culty version of the classic comic book, cartoon, and TV show today. Before we get into that, though, we're going to, as always, talk about what we've been playing or reading, etc. Jordan, why don't you take it off?
Sure. So I finally got My Hero 1 Justice. I'm not impressed. Don't buy this game.
Rip. I mean, I didn't think anything special. What's wrong with it, I guess?
So one, I've been spoiled by playing Red Dead Redemption 2 and I'm not comparing this to Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm just saying that the controls of a PlayStation 4 are so much better and just they feel better in the hand. The controller feels better. I think I'd enjoy this game more if I bought it on PS4. But that being said, it is beautiful and interesting. I don't like some of the mechanics of the game. Like, you can get stuck in like the ceiling or the wall or the floor. And by stuck, I don't mean like glitched. I mean like they can physically punch you into the wall or a surface and you be stuck into that surface and half of your body be sticking out.
That's weird. That's not in the anime at all.
No, it's not. It is weird. I'm comparing this to other fighting games in the sense of I wish there was more follow-up in the sense of doing combos. I have only played once. I did try playing online and then I was politely...
Once? You only played one time?
Well, no, I played a couple times, but I was reminded very... I guess quickly that I do not have Nintendo Switch online with a big old banner, and it's
just a middle finger.
Yeah, it literally took up the whole screen, and it was like, hey, you cannot do this without this function, without this service. So go back to the game or get this service. And I was like, well, thanks, Nintendo. I'm not getting that until, So I did play some arcade modes. That's kind of cool. I downloaded the Endeavor for pre-order. Even comparing this to Dragon Ball Fighter Z,
Fighters, that's fine.
Yeah, the combat is just night and day different. I mean, obviously the combat's going to be different, but it's just Dragon Ball Z is so much more polished than this game.
I think it's very this. I mean,
it is
the same company.
Yeah, it is. So I don't know. It's cool. It's awesome to be able to control some of the characters that I like from the anime. And their fighting styles are different, and it's unique in that aspect, but I definitely see myself playing this very, 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 very extremely casually, and I didn't have high expectations, but I thought it'd be cooler than this. So
I know you said the game was pretty, but like from what I've seen on YouTube, and this is just, I guess just opinion differences, I don't really like the way it looks.
I like it. I will say it's pretty in some points, but it feels like, the characters have like the little intros and stuff where they like come in and do a little move, but most of the time it's like cut off before like they finish their like what they're saying, or it just feels like it's like just like they didn't leave that last 10 seconds in,
right?
And so it's just really, it's really weird.
I thought from the very brief clips I've seen online, I thought it almost looked like a PS2 game, honestly.
It feels like a PS2 game. It does not, like I was saying, like I want there to be I want it to play like a Tekken or a Soul Calibur where it's faster and you can kind of just follow up. You know, like you do a cool move and then you can just like be at them and be able to combo. And some characters just cannot do that at all. Like there's no like, you know, they don't use their abilities to, I guess, what's it called? Like closing gaps.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for, because I was trying to play it like I did Dragon Ball Z, but it is not that. But it's a cool thing to have, and I'm sure it'll be fun to maybe sit down and play with some friends. But other than that, it's kind of I wanted to get into the spooky season, so I tried playing some Claire Extended Cut. That was also just kind of it didn't meet my cup of tea. It was spooky.
I told you not to buy it.
It was like 50 cents, man. Like, or it was definitely less than $1. Like, I had to get it. I tried it out because it was, you know, one of my friends tried it and he loved it. It was awesome. I don't like it. It was just kind of like, I think I played, I don't know how much time I played. Maybe half an hour, maybe an hour. And I was just kind of like, why am I playing this? Like, I'm going to go play anything else.
Did you get, well, you canceled your Twitch Prime, so I guess you don't have them anymore, but Twitch gave away like 3 or 4 spooky games, like really, really high quality.
Oh, I got all those. Yeah, I got all those.
I don't think you can activate them.
I added them and downloaded them to my account. Yeah.
Can you always? I think actually Amazon said you can.
Yeah, they're added to your account.
Keep them forever. You can keep them forever.
Yeah, because I have some that I like, because I've stopped my Twitch Prime before, and I just they're added to my Twitch account.
Okay. So you don't lose them.
No,
that's awesome.
You can only get them on the Twitch desktop client though. So for those of you that are searching for them in the Twitch website on a web browser or on your phone or something, you have to use the desktop client on a Windows or Mac.
I believe it gives you like a pop-up button or something that says download this app to get this or something.
Yeah, it should, if you already don't have it downloaded. I did play some Overwatch. I didn't finish the competitive I didn't finish all the placement matches for my competitive season, but I did end on a high note. It was just a really good match of, not a lot of people talked to me, but I talked to a lot of people. I did play some competitive. Kind of. It was more or less just like me calling out things and be like, hey, how about you don't, like, our Reinhardt switched to Roadhog. I was like, okay, I'm fine with that. And then, like, he went back to spawn. I was like, no, do not switch to Bastion. I don't care if we're on a payload map. We do not need a Bastion. Like,
because you switched from a shield.
Exactly. I'm fine. So, you can body some people with Roadhog. I'm fine with that. Just do work, you know. And then there was this Pharah, and people were like, "Take care of the Pharah. Somebody take care of the Pharah." I'm like, can anybody play McCree?
Or Soldier, no. Or Widow, or Hanzo.
And they were like, no. And I'm, exactly. And I was like, fine, I'll switch to Widowmaker. Soldier. No, I switched to Soldier and kind of took care of the problem a little bit. But it was just, it's crazy how people don't know how to play against, if they haven't played against the hero enough, like, it's just like, oh no, she's in the sky. What am I going to do? You shoot her like anything else. Point and shoot, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But
I mean, it is hard. It's definitely hard.
It is hard. You know, being a Pharah player, I love playing Pharah. It is, even Pharah v Pharah is hard.
I actually like to try like challenge Pharah when I'm playing Junkrat. Like,
oh, that's so fun.
I'm like, bet I can't get you.
Yeah, I've killed some Pharahs in the air with doing a double jump and then just like blasting grenades in their face in the sky. It's wonderful.
Or like you can like just kind of, if you're on the high ground, you can just use one grenade to shoot you up in the air and then stick another grenade like in her mouth.
Yep, it's awesome.
And
like
then you shoot her once and she's dead.
Yep, just put like a thin mint cookie of a grenade in her mouth and just.
So did you enjoy it or not?
I did. I didn't finish all the placement matches because I figured for once I want to end the competitive season on a high note, and I just stopped playing. Like I went and played some quick play matches and some arcade and stuff, but I ended a competitive season on a high note, and it gave me some, I don't know, I guess some good vibes and some good feelings to head into this competitive season. And I'm already trying to figure out who I'm going to play during this competitive season, and what roles I'm going to try to. I'm actually going to try this competitive season to get a real placement match based upon my skills set in the game.
Yeah, I usually end up somewhere in silver or bronze, but I don't know. But I mean, I also did. I played some Overwatch too. I actually had a pretty decent time with it, but I did not get. And when this goes out, there will still be a day of a Halloween event, the Terror event, Halloween Terror. But I have not gotten a single legendary skin. No Doomfish.
Really?
No, not the hamster with the pumpkin for his neck. I didn't get Freddy Krueger or Jason. I didn't get Jason Voorhees, Soldier 76. I haven't gotten any of the legendary skins.
I haven't either. I did pick up Pharah's rare skin from last year, Zenyatta's Cthulhu skin, which I've regretted for a year of not getting, and I had to pick it up when it was 1,000 credits, so I picked that up.
That's great. I just don't play Zenyatta, so I just didn't pick it up.
Yeah, I had to get it. It's just, I love Cthulhu, I love Lovecraft, I love spooky things. But yeah, so Overwatch. Go ahead.
Me? You?
Yeah, you.
I just want to let them know, if y'all do want to try to pick up some of the legendary skins or sprays or something, you have like the day this goes up, I believe is the last day of the event, so get on that.
Mm-hmm. I did play some more We Happy Few. This is, so granted, my week goes from podcast to podcast. So we record, so behind the scenes, we record this on like not Saturdays, my bad. Tuesdays, usually. So my gaming week goes from Tuesday to Tuesday. And so all this was played before, My Hero Injustice was played after Red Dead. But before Red Dead came out, I did get to play some more We Happy Few. Now it's been put completely on hold. But finally, I got through this. It's like they put you in this town, and it's just this game. I finally got joy poisoning because I was in a rock and a hard place, and I had to take joy. And it was just like, I'm going to get sick if I take this joy, but I have to take this joy because if I don't, the Bobby is going to come get me, and they're going to beat me to death.
The cops, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah. And so everybody's wearing a mask, and it was one of those things where I had some joy in my pocket, and I just had it, for like safekeeping in case I needed to pop one real quick. And I took it. Oh my gosh, joy poisoning this makes me appreciate having like status elements and effects in games. So it makes you all loopy, like you're super drunk. And it actually hurt my eyes to look at the screen because the screen starts going all kaleidoscopy, and you go down to like 10% health, and you have like you're fatigued, and all these other things happen in the game, and you're just kind of like, it's all because you took too much joy, but you're happy,
joy, man.
Which is funny because you see like the double rainbows and stuff, but your character's like, I'm gonna die, please kill me. But you still see all the happy rainbows. You could also do like a cocktail of like joy plus like psychedelic mushrooms, which makes everything even more intense in the game. So I finally got to this point and I went and visited like an old flame, and she was like, hey, I work for this politician now. And you're like, what the crap? Why are you working for this person?
Guy, I'm assuming.
Exactly, not a good guy, and you had to do some stuff, and it's crazy. It's interesting to compare choices in We Happy Few to choices in Red Dead, where, you can go kill people in We Happy Few, and it really doesn't matter. Like the game, they don't really care. There's no, like, good or bad scale that you're going to tip. Like, if someone sees you, obviously they'll freak out. But, I rolled up on this scientist, and I'm like, hey, I need this thing. And her little people are like, we won't let you come in till you go collect this. And I was like, I'm just going to kill both of you because I don't want to walk a mile that way to go collect this thing. So I just killed both of them, snuck in the house. And she's like, oh, did you talk to Roy and Steve? And I'm like, I sure did. They wish you the best, but they're actually both dead. And I just hid their bodies because you can do that. It's kind of
I kind of do that kind of stuff in Dishonored sometimes. If I get mad, I'm like, I'm just going to kill all of you.
Yep. But We Have a Few, it's awesome. I can't wait to get back to it, but...
It seems like you're kind of taking your time with it.
I am. And it's rolling slowly through the story, and it's one of those, like, psychedelic games where it actually makes me sit back and think about life. But, man, this next game, Red Dead 2, oh my gosh.
I'm trying to spend too much time on it just because
That's true.
We'll have a podcast dedicated to Red Dead in the next week or two.
That's true. That's true. It's awesome. I love it. It's exactly what I wanted it to be. It's one of those games I can load up and just, you had a hard day, you can just go shoot some people. It's awesome. It's
How many people have you killed? You're gonna be a horrible person, aren't you?
I'm almost to the end scale of the bad radar, or whatever you want to call it.
I mean, he's pretty bad. Like, even if you play as good as you want, he's still not a good person.
I'll get the next time we record a topical episode, or in the Red Dead episode, we will. I'll give you the stats of how many people I've killed. I'm pretty sure you can look that up. I mean, you can in other games. So, but I've killed a lot of people, That's a lot. So, and it's
beat people to death when you go to collect their loans and stuff.
Yeah, and then I just bring their body back with me and throw them outside the camp, and I'm like, "Look what I did, dude!" And he's like, "You can't bring them here," and I'm like, "I don't care."
Man,
so, it's so good.
I really, really like that game. It's probably, if not the prettiest one, like the top 5 prettiest games.
It is so
I've
beautiful.
Ever seen. Even on the regular PlayStation, it's gorgeous. It really is.
Yeah.
You start out in the snow environment on top of a mountain, and the snow physics are great because like you'll lean down and like different parts of your body will touch the snow, and that will affect it. It's not like.
Yeah.
Just your feet affect it.
And the sounds are so, because like I love little aspects of games that people don't really usually pick up on, and some people do. But the sounds of this game, like the reloading sounds, the bullet sounds, like even the horse sounds, it's just they're so good, and it's so like
horses pooping.
Yeah, horses pooping. People eating, like even like small mechanics like that. Like they didn't have to put in the aspect of him eating, filling up the bowl all the way and then eating, and then the food goes down and then he just eats it all, and it's just like there's just little things like that, and it's just
I feel like that's what really makes a game like this truly great. Or like I've only put maybe 10 hours into this, so I don't know, but this is definitely, I'm gonna say, in the game of the year hunt.
Same. Yeah, it's real good.
Definitely up there. Unless something dramatically changes. I know some people don't like it because it's a very slow paced game, and it's not like the combat isn't great. But I don't want to talk about too much about that. But it's a great game. I just say I do like the game so far.
Yeah, me too. It's awesome.
I've also playing a little Gwent. Not much. I just kind of got through the tutorial, got a few crates, which are the card packs. I haven't opened any of them, but I might try to get into that now that the Gwent, like, it's officially out of beta now, and it looks way different. There's some different mechanics and stuff. So if you've been waiting for that is out. It's pretty. I don't know if I like it worse or more. I don't like, because it used to be like Hearthstone. When you played, it felt like you were in like a tavern, playing cards with a friend. But now it's not really like that anymore, unless there's different stages. I'm not sure. Maybe one of them is like the tavern feel. But I still like it. It's still the same mechanics pretty much. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure if I want to play that or not.
Okay.
Then excuse me. Me and Jordan both so I guess since this episode is going to be about the new Netflix show, The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, we decided to read. Well, I read it. Jordan watched a video on it, I believe.
Correct.
I read, I think, half of the first volume of Sabrina, The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, which is the comic book that this is based on.
Yes, and I watched the Comic Historian video on it, where he covers the first volume of it. And so I watched this video covering the first volume after I finished the Netflix series. And it's pretty different.
Oh yeah, it's really, really different. Well, I won't spoil anything in case y'all want to read the comics. But
it's good though.
It's really good. Great artwork.
Yes, it is. Oh, I love it.
It's super dark. I'd say even darker than the show.
Yeah.
The show's kind of dark, but it's not like crazy dark or anything. I'd say the comic book is more just like screwed up, I guess.
I'd agree with that.
But it's really, really good. I'd definitely give it a read. It's free if you're a Comixology or Unlimited or whatever it's called member. You can get it like rented or whatever they call it for free right now. It's actually a bunch of comics. I think Lock and Key. There's some Ash vs. Evil Dead comic books that you can rent. Archie, Undead Archie, or Archie's Undead Nightmare, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
So if you're in the mood for some spooky comic books to read, you can go check those out. I definitely recommend those. I guess we can roll right into the topic.
Yeah.
The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina.
Also known as Chaos.
Chaos? What does that mean?
Chaos, the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. That's what people are calling it. Chaos.
Who?
Just people. It's shorter than saying Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. Just say Chaos.
No.
But I like the name.
It sounds too edgelordy.
The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina on Netflix.
Yeah, this came out
November 26th.
26th? Yeah. We'll try to stay away from spoilers, at least at first. But if you really don't want to be spoiled on anything, honestly,
don't listen to this
probably
episode.
should go watch the show and then listen to it, the episode. So, this it takes place in this weird, like, 50s, but not really 50s or 60s timeline.
Yeah, it took me a while to realize, like, not completely realize, but I was like, is this just like a modern day setting where this particular town hasn't evolved to the 20th century? And then I was like,
21st century.
Sorry, thank you, 21st century. And I was like, nope, Greendale is still far behind in times.
I think the whole world's like that.
Yeah.
I'm assuming the whole world is like this. It's like this 50s, 60s aesthetic. The cars and the trucks and stuff and the way they dress, very old-fashioned. But like some of the ideals, I guess. And they mention like Neil Gaiman's Sandman and Alan Moore's Swamp Thing, which obviously were not out in the 50s. So it's kind of weird like that. There's some it's very progressive with like gay relationships and like people being friends with people like that they might not be as accepting back in the day. Fully hydrated.
I will say that I really like this time period. Like I dig it. I love the bookstore.
Yeah, I like the bookstore. It's fun.
Like it. I don't know. I didn't ever realize that I liked the 50s and 60s until now. It kind of makes me wish there was like parts of the, I guess, U.S. that was dedicated to those time periods in select towns. That'd be kind of cool.
That'd be horrible. Sorry,
I mean,
you can't have a cell phone. You live in this part. Sorry. No, you can't use the internet either. Oh no, you're sorry. You can't have a car that has over 15 miles to the gallon.
Okay, good point. Okay, good.
No,
good.
The gas is still gonna be $4 a gallon.
Okay, good point. I guess I'll just have to be 50s and 60s during Halloween.
You can dress up in your poodle skirt or
thanks.
Your what's that called? Leatherman jacket or whatever.
Yep.
And as a Halloween costume, but I don't know if that's a good idea to force an entire town.
I have always wanted a Letterman jacket, but I never did get one.
Well, did you play any sports or be in band or anything in high school?
I was in band, but we didn't do the whole Letterman jackets. Or if we did, no one told me about it, and I wasn't a cool kid. So maybe there's a secret society. So
yeah, that was already, kind of set in stone. So, like we said, this takes place in this weird 50s and 60s, but kind of modern day thing. I don't see any cell phones. I don't think they use the internet.
Ambrose is using his computer.
Yeah, that's right. He uses a laptop.
Yeah,
that's right.
There has to be some, which was kind of confusing to me. I'm like, hold up, Ambrose. Like, I don't see any cord running to your laptop right there, and you're on the porch, like outside of your house. Like,
I'm assuming you have Wi-Fi.
I'm like, how are you getting internet right now?
I'm assuming it was Wi-Fi.
Just Wi-Fi? So, I don't know. Who knows? So maybe it's a spell that gives them. But they didn't have. They didn't have Wi-Fi in the 50s.
Do you think they had Jordan? Do you think they had laptops in the 50s?
Okay, good point. Oh my gosh.
Anyway, it's almost like the Batman the Animated Show, because it's kind of futuristic, but kind of in the past at the same time.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I thought of. So the main character, Sabrina Spellman, starts out as she's 15 years old when the series starts. And it shows some like I understand like it's like a witch show, but man, this show and she's probably like 20 in real life, but like it's kind of weird that some of the shots they show for a 15-year-old girl. I thought
That's yeah.
But and she has her birthday coming up, and when she turns 16, she's supposed to sign her name in the Book of the Beast.
Yeah, man, I'm not gonna lie. It took me a little longer than I'm ashamed to admit that I figured out, that the Beast and the Dark Lord was Satan.
Are you serious?
Yeah, like I can't believe like when they were like, praise Satan. I was like, yeah, whatever. And then they were like, the Dark Lord is Satan. I'm like, I'm an idiot.
This kid.
I know. I'm like, why am I such an idiot?
So
like this.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
It was bad.
Sabrina's trying to figure out if she wants to join this witch coven that her family's a part of. Her aunts, Zelda and what's the other? What's
Hilda.
Hilda. Are one of them. Hilda is kind of like do whatever you want, and Zelda is kind of like no, you need to sign this so you can become part of the witch community fully. Because when Sabrina was born. She was born. Her father was a warlock, and her mother was a normal human or a mortal, as they call them. I guess witches aren't mortal. So
the actress that plays Sabrina is 19 years old.
Okay, yeah. Ow! Just hit my elbow. I figured she was older. Where was I?
You were talking about how her mom is immortal and warlocks are not mortal.
Yeah. So her dad was a warlock. So she's as some people call her in the show, I guess it's seen as like a racist term, like a mudblood. They call her a half-breed, which sounds pretty offensive to me.
Or a mutt. They call her a mutt
every
once in a while, too. Yeah,
so they want her to sign this Book of the Beast so she'll become a part of the full witch community and hopefully be accepted by the witches. But she has friends and a boyfriend, Harvey Kinkle. Thank you. That she doesn't really want to leave. So that's kind of the story, at least at first, is about her trying to figure out if she wants to join this coven fully.
So this is definitely, if you're thinking this is a reboot of Sabrina the Teenage Witch, yeah, there's some funny moments.
Talking from the 90s?
Yeah.
No, it's definitely not that.
Oh, no, I'm just telling our listeners that, or people that listen to this, that it's, obviously it's not. So I went into this pretty blind. Like, I saw the picture of it on Netflix, and I was like, yeah, that's cool. I remember I watched... Spooky? No, like, I saw that it had, like, the pentagram and stuff, and it was like, I was like, oh, TV 14, whatever, no big deal. It's actually, like, there's some creepy, like, twisted stuff in this.
Yeah, for a TV 14 show, it's pretty... I'd say
dark and twisted.
It leans pretty heavily... towards the end of that TV 14.
I would agree.
Like, I wouldn't... It's not MA or anything.
No, not at all.
But, it is, maybe darker than you would expect it to be.
It was, and going into this pretty blind, I knew it wasn't... Yep, nice. I knew it wasn't a reboot of Sabrina the Teenage Witch, but I knew it was about Sabrina, and so, honestly, part of me was just kind of like... In my head, I was like, okay, there's a 1% chance that this is like a reboot in the sense of this is going to be her daughter and about that. And so that's kind of where...
Sabrina?
Well, yeah, sure. Why not? It's TV.
I mean, I guess people name themselves after their... name their children after themselves all the time.
So that's I thought there was like a 1% chance of doing that, of this show doing that. And I was completely wrong. And it was once that first little bit of the episode, I was hooked. I was like, okay, I need to find out what happens. Where's the story going to go? How's it going to evolve?
Yeah. There's this...
Like, Sabrina has a great arc, but, no spoilers or anything.
No, not yet.
For now. But yeah, just her arc, I will say she's pretty stupid, but I had to keep reminding myself she's 15 or gonna be 16. She's a teenager.
I actually liked that she's not perfect. I thought I was kind of scared she was gonna be a Mary Sue.
Okay.
But just because like her dad is who he is, so she's just good. But she wasn't. There's kind of
No.
something towards the end that's a little bit like that.
Yeah.
But I can kind of overlook it because she wasn't like that the whole time. She kind of
Exactly.
screwed up a lot.
Yes, she did. And she did some unique things that were just in my head, I was just kind of like, dang, she's doing a lot of first. Like, this is a lot of, like
Like what?
a lot of,
I guess that's spoilers.
yeah, that's why I just said she's doing a lot of first. A lot of, like,
If it's some of the things I'm thinking of, there are reasons why.
well, yeah.
Like, she doesn't just do it because she's a Spellman.
Well, no,
She kinda
obviously,
does, she kinda doesn't.
obviously not. No, and I wasn't talking about that. I was just saying in the fact of
You talking about like
she
the
does
Rubik's Cube thing?
that, and I was just talking about more of the things that she's had to perform and go through. We can talk about it later in the episode.
I'm trying to be what you're talking about. Yeah, we can talk about that later in the episode. I don't know how much we can talk about this without spoiling it. There is one. There's like this kind of, I don't want to say weird, but kind of message about how like men are bad, but
Yeah,
like
there's like a sprinkle of that.
I didn't really like, but it doesn't get too heavy. I don't think it means it like that, but it kind of comes off a little bit like that. There's this one. What's that?
Go ahead.
I just gonna say, there's this one. I don't think this is a spoiler. It's just kind of. I thought it was funny. Some people may think I'm an a-hole for thinking this is funny, but this girl who is getting picked on. These guys who are admittedly assholes. They like feel her up at one point, or somebody. I'm not sure if that's the same people or not. I think it is.
It is.
So her and some friends start a group to kind of protect people who are being picked on and stuff, and they put up posters across the hall.
It's called WICCA, Women's Intersectional Cultural and Creative Association. Wicca, like play on like the
Wiccan.
religious. Yeah, Wiccan. That's the play
That's
on.
what I
So
figured it would be. So one of these guys who was doing horrible things comes up and like rips the poster in half, and she sees him, and she goes to tackle him. He just effing slugs her in the mouth. I was like, holy crap.
yeah, I saw that and I was like, this is. I honestly thought they were all gonna start kicking her. Okay, so there's.
That's funny.
So I honestly thought that was a boy.
No, they say early on that it's a girl.
Well, I know, but when I first saw her, I'm like, oh, that's so cute. Like a interracial relationship with a white boy and a black girl. That's awesome. And then I was like, that's even cuter. It's a black girl and a white girl. But I don't think that's that either. But then I was like, oh, she's a girl. Because at first I was like, what do you mean they lifted up your shirt? So what? And then I was like, oh,
I wouldn't want to be she's about some weirdo. I don't know what you're talking about, Jordan. Maybe
I was
like that kind of stuff.
And I was like, oh, she's a girl. That's so sad.
Yeah. So she gets clocked, which I thought was funny, just because it was so brutal.
Just down. And
bah!
it just went down like a bag of potatoes.
The dude's like probably 3 times her size, legitimately.
Yeah,
it was like a kindergartner compared to this guy. And he's like, I was just defending myself. And Sabrina's like, we should go to the police. And Susie is her name. She's like,
yeah, Susie.
I started it. What are you going to do? And yeah, so. And then there's this
poor Susie.
Whole side story about like getting books
unbanned from the school.
Quote unquote banned from the school. Unbanned. Which was kind of weird. And I thought. But then you find out the reason. There's actually a decent reason why the girl who is the head of it really wants to do it.
Yeah.
I thought that was explained well.
It was. Because I was just like, so what? They're books. Just read them at your house.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought. Like, buy them. I mean, I guess you have the internet. Because...
yeah, Ampros.
Ampros is using a laptop, so just buy it online or something. Or go to a bookstore or something.
Yeah, go to the Cerberus, whatever.
But there was a reason why she was so upset about it. Which you find out.
I really sympathized with her. It was, man, that would suck if that was happening to me. Oh, but just a quick little, I guess, sprinkle of backstory. So the Spellmans live in a mortuary.
Yeah.
They live in a mortuary, which I thought was kind of cool. Ampros is a necromancy warlock dude.
He's a necromancy warlock dude.
Yep. He's a warlock that specializes in necromancy.
When does he use necromancy?
He doesn't, but that's why he's under house arrest for 75 years, for the last 75 years, and he can't leave the...
He's under house arrest. This might be kind of spoiler. I don't know. Skip ahead 10 seconds. He's under house arrest because he tried to blow up the Vatican.
I know. I was going to say that, but he specializes in necromancy. That's what I was saying.
Do not remember that. I'll have to look that up or something. I don't remember that.
He was born a full witch. I don't know. I liked him a lot.
Yeah, he's really interesting.
I just wanted to say, it's like... I forgot which two, like, rock star characters. It's like if two rock star characters had a baby, but I forgot which two in my head.
Rockstar, like the video game company, or
no. Like Rockstar goddess deities in real life. Yeah, like Van Halen and Sting had a baby or something.
Okay, I like how I have Aunt Zelda is so fancy written in the notes here.
She is. She smokes cigarettes with a little thing of tweezers or whatever it's called. She's a bitch.
She's not a good person. Y'all
no.
talk about this later. Spoilers. Most of the witches in this show are really bad people.
So, okay, I did accidentally watch an interview with the person that plays Prudence because I like her from the show The 100.
You accidentally watched it.
Well, yeah, because I was just like on YouTube and it like auto played and I was like, okay, whatever, I'll watch this. And then it was like, this is Sabrina, and they're like, she's so powerful. And then like after I finished the series, I was just like, she didn't do anything. She didn't do any cool Fusrudas or any cool,
what's that?
Like Fusruda, for Dragon Shouts from Skyrim. She didn't do anything cool,
okay.
like it was just
about.
She was just kind of there, she didn't do. Yeah, she didn't do anything cool. It was.
What did you? I don't know.
I don't know what I expected her to do. I expected her to do like some kind of cool, like Avada Kedavra spell or like something like cool. But she was just there.
Right.
So.
Anything else you have to say, and without spoiling anything?
No, I don't think so.
I'd say I'd definitely recommend this.
Oh, the intro is really cool. It's drawn in the Archie style. And you can even see like
there's pictures of the comic book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's drawn like the comic book, and there's like paid I guess adaptations ripped straight from the comic book page. Really cool.
So I'd say this isn't one. I usually skip intros, but this is one that I enjoyed watching.
Yeah, I didn't. I skipped it a few times. When
just to save time.
When Netflix autoplays, it just doesn't do the intro. So there were several times when I watched like 5 or 6 episodes in a row yesterday, and I only watched the intro like twice, maybe just because I disconnected it to go get lunch, and then when I reconnected it, it played it. So definitely recommend this.
I definitely recommend it.
If you haven't seen it though, and you don't want to be spoiled, I'd say from here on out, we're gonna spoil it.
But before we get into spoilers, I'd say I'd give this an A rank if I had to give it a rank. Like in like S rank.
Baby,
to like.
You gotta give it a rank.
It's good.
Hole.
Okay, my bad.
I don't pigeonholing it.
Sorry. If you want something to watch, and you want something that's good, watch this. Okay, now on to spoilers.
Okay, spoilers. The big red flashing spoiler.
Spoilers ahead. Spoilers ahead.
Dude. So do you know what Long Pig is? I do, but do you know what Long Pig is?
No clue.
It's human.
What?
Yep. They say there's at one point, and this isn't even a spoiler, so I guess I could have. I guess I wanted to say that they're not good people until after the spoilers. At one point, they get somebody in the mortuary who they're gonna do an autopsy on and bury. I guess they're kind of like a full service mortuary. I guess.
Yeah.
But Zelda says, it's been a while since we've had Long Pig. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's human.
Oh.
Yep.
Well then.
They eat people, and later on in the show,
that's true. They do.
They're gonna eat people again. So
Man,
at least part of them, at least a lot of witches eat human meat. I don't know.
Oh, there's another time too when she's having that. I guess. Do you want to go in like order, or do you want to just talk?
No. I just want to talk.
Okay, cool. When they're having that nightmare by not Beelzebub, but Batty Batty.
Batty Bat. I think it's Batty Bat.
Batty Bat.
Who's a
Batty
sleep
Bat.
demon who puts you to sleep and causes nightmares.
She was Batty Bat was in this, like, imagine like a Rubik's Cube mixed with a kaleidoscope that you have to solve. So you have to like look inside of it and like unlock it as you're looking inside of the kaleidoscope. So Sabrina solves it. Her dad designed it, which held Batty Bat for like 70 years. Batty Bat gets out, does a lot of muck in the house, puts everybody in a trance of like happy, nice dreams, and then boom, instantly turns into nightmares. Zelda's nightmare is that the Dark Lord Satan comes and eats dinner with them and chooses
to hang out with his sister.
Yeah, chooses to dine and hang out with Hilda instead. But Zelda in the dream prepares a little fat plump boy for the devil.
Or it's a warlock.
A witch, yeah, warlock, fat little warlock boy. And I was just like, I was like,
that was a dream too.
Oh yeah, but still, it was just
I was just it, though in real life.
Oh yeah, she definitely would have done it in real life. She loves Lord Satan.
Oh yeah.
That's why she hooked up with the high priest.
Yeah. So that's the earlier in the show when I said the Rubik's Cube thing.
Mm-hmm.
Is that one of the things you were talking about when you said she did a lot of firsts?
No, I was talking about more or less the what is it? Let me do it in. Let me think. What is it called? The exorcism and then the resurrection.
Which the resurrection wasn't a first.
Well, but it was a first for her.
Yeah, well, I mean, she's
but
been doing some stuff.
But I was thinking of more or less the exorcism. I didn't expect her to do a lot of things.
That was a little, I don't know, it was a little weird. Her dad, I feel like her dad was a little bit of a Harry Sue.
Yeah. Comparing to what he did in the comics to the show.
Man, he is a piece of, he is. He is a horrible person in the comics.
He lobotomizes his wife. Just straight up burns her mind with his hand. It's in the comics. In the show, he just signs her name in the Book of the Damned without her consent.
Well, he signs Sabrina's name, not his wife's.
Sabrina's name. Sorry, yeah. He signs Sabrina's name in the Book of the Damned, which I feel like should be null and void because she was a baby and she couldn't sign her own name.
Yeah, but
so
she does sign her own name.
She doesn't know. Man, dude, Lilith. That was I liked that teacher too. I was like, man, that teacher's cool. Sabrina's so nice for inviting her teacher, which is kind of weird.
Man, then she got immediately murdered.
And I was just kind of like, whoa. Yep. And that set the tone of the show. Pretty early on, okay, there's gonna be blood, there's gonna be death.
I feel like that
here's
was
the show.
Goriest moment in the show, though. Honestly. I
don't think so.
She gets stabbed in the neck. I feel like, and with a pair of scissors, and I feel like, what would you think would be gorier?
Ambrose having to kill himself over and over.
Yeah, well, it only shows it once. I guess so. Yeah, that. Yeah.
I just for me that's a mental that was a super mental.
You're talking about a fear.
No, it was just heavy to watch that, because okay. I know if I was in his shoes, being housebound for 75 years, then finally being able to leave, and then just being caught in this cycle of having to cut yourself open and then diagnose why you're dead, and it's just dying pretty much.
What are you talking about?
Just him having to diagnose.
When does he do that?
When he's in the nightmare with Baby Bat.
He doesn't diagnose anything. What do you mean diagnose?
Well, he has to cut his chest open and he eats his heart and he's saying how it tastes bitter.
He has to diagnose anything.
Well, he was just kind of because his Aunt Hilda's what does your heart taste like? He's bitter. And I'm dang, man, his life sucks. Even his dreams, he can't be free.
He tried to blow up the Vatican and got sentenced.
Well,
I don't know how long. I know he's been in it for 70 years, but I don't know how much longer his sentence was.
I don't know. They never cover. It's never revealed that Aunt Hilda put a love spell on Luke to fall in love with Ambrose.
Well, you sure she did it then?
Yeah, when Luke came and got a cappuccino at the bookstore, right. She puts 3 or 4 drops. Yeah, it says amore on it, which means love.
I'm trying to think. When does that happen?
It's the first time. So Aunt Hilda and Ambrose have a conversation about, why don't you call over that boy Luke? And he's like, I have called him multiple times, but he won't talk to me anymore.
He already liked him, I feel like.
Yeah.
But he, left. Let's see, they went to that coffee shop, and since Ambrose can't leave his house, he had to astral project, which is forbidden. You're not supposed to do it.
Yeah.
And he didn't have time to explain, I guess. So he just like randomly leaves, and I guess Luke was like, "What the balls," and didn't call him back or anything, because he was like, "This was a mistake." He also said, Ambrose literally said, "This was a mistake," and left.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I mean, that would hurt my feelings. Talk about just leaving, and talking about ghosting somebody just on a date.
Yeah. So there's these what are those things called? Those birds that will like take you to hell or something.
Yeah, I forgot what they're called.
They look like just birds, but
look like sparrows.
yeah, they look like sparrows. It's like something palm or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that would suck. Let's talk about the story some though.
Okay.
Actually, it spoils some stuff about the story. Let's see.
So it starts off, it's before her 16th birthday. She's going to have what they call her dark baptism. So everything in the witch culture is dark and evil.
Unholy.
And yeah, thank you.
Sometimes
Unholy
it's not.
and...
Sometimes it
yeah.
don't say that. Sometimes they'll say like the actual like holy or
the
something.
word, yeah. They do use the word delicious a lot when referring to witchcraft.
Times.
Delicious power or delicious spell or...
I feel like the first episode or two of this were kind of really badly written, honestly.
I was thinking that they were trying to figure out what they were doing,
Yeah.
sort of, like trying to find their pacing. And then, once, I'd say like at episode 3 or 4,
it got way better.
it was like, boom, like, come on, we got this.
There were like a few awkward lines early on, definitely. Like Sabrina or somebody called something like delicious. I'm like, that's, nobody talks like that.
Yeah, and that's why I wrote that down, just them referring to witchcraft is like, they're like, thank you for this delicious power. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what? Like, why would you say it? Just say thank you for this power. Why do you have to put the word delicious?
Right.
Like that's weird.
There's this kind of this weird balance because, like we said, a lot of the witches are just horrible people.
Yeah, they're real
really
weird.
have a right to get mad about humans killing them. Because they're horrible. Like, they eat human flesh.
The Weird Sisters are so strange.
They're horrible.
They're so bad.
Let's see. So Sabrina is supposed to be, like, I guess this moral compass, kind of. But, man, she does some terrible things early on, too.
Yes, she does.
So, when her friend gets felt up on, she goes to the principal. And he's like, okay, what are these boys' names? I need their names. And Sabrina says that Susie, who got assaulted, I guess if you want to call it that, won't tell her. And he's like, I can't do anything then. And he does say this in kind of a dickish way. He's like, the only thing I could do is suggest is that she move schools or something.
It's just like, what? It's like, no, thank you. Like, that is a terrible advice.
But I don't know what he's supposed to do.
Same.
And so Sabrina decides to. He's got arachnophobia.
He's scared of spiders.
So she decides to like cover his body and his house in spiders, which would drive me insane. And I don't think I wouldn't say I have arachnophobia at all.
Yeah, I was thinking that, and I was like, in my head that wouldn't bother me, but I also wouldn't stand there and scream. But I get it. He's super scared of spiders.
That would bother you if you were covered head to toe in spiders.
Oh yeah, I'd definitely be bothered by it.
I'd throw myself out a window.
Yeah, I think I would just throw myself in the fireplace.
I kept expecting something like that to happen. Like she does this 2 or 3 times, and I just dropped something in my keyboard.
So yeah,
and I kept expecting that to happen, but it never really did. I don't remember. I don't think. I mean.
Yeah, and she she goes towards her unholy baptism or dark baptism. She's super uneasy, kind of just weighing because she has to decide whether she wants to be a full witch and forsaken the mortal world, or she wants to go ahead and be just a normal girl because she's a half breed. She's half.
Well, she won't lose her powers. I don't.
She won't, but she just won't have the full.
She won't have the full
extent
powers.
of her powers.
Like she'll age like a normal person and stuff because she's not using the devil's power, I guess.
I will say I liked some of the smaller details about this. Like I liked how they're called how the episodes are called chapters.
Yeah,
I liked that. That was cool. But towards like it gets. There's only 10 episodes, by the way. So you can run through this pretty quickly if you have some time. It's like 10 hours of stuff. So if you watch an episode a day and you can be done in, like 10 days. So
we could just binge it like we did.
Oh yeah, you could just binge it, which is, also a good experience.
I would watch it in like 2 or 3 days though.
Yeah, I'd agree. Watching this all at once would be, one, unhealthy, and two, just...
I think I watched 3 episodes over the weekend, and I watched like 7 episodes in one day.
Yeah, I watched.
Long in the tooth.
Yeah, it did. After, I'm not gonna lie, once I hit like, I just dropped my pen. Oh well, I need to stop fiddling with stuff while I record, I guess. But once I will say, like, up to season 6. Holy oh my
crap.
Gosh. up to episode 6, I was good. Season 7, it was just kind of like, episode 7 was just kind of like, I was just kind of like, come on. And then once I got through episode 7, it was fine. It was just kind of like, I guess just watching that many episodes in one day, I was just kind of like, please, is it over yet? Exactly.
But I did enjoy it, definitely. So
I did too.
She goes to her dark baptism, and she, like Jordan said, she was super uneasy. So when they cut her hand, because she has to sign it in blood, of course. And when she goes to sign it, she looks up and she sees her parents, and they're in the vision or whatever she has. They say run, so she pulls her hand away and runs away.
I will say one of my favorite moments of the dark baptism is there's this super buff guy in the back that has a rabbit for a head.
I think it's a man.
And I took a screenshot of that just because I liked it so much, just because it was so funny. Because it's like, he's just in the background. You see him move. You see him move over to the side to be in the frame more, and he's just standing there all swole, and it's just so funny.
Yeah, he's at that wedding scene. The wedding.
Yeah, he is.
Too.
Yeah, and I'm just like, yeah, Buff Rabbit Man.
So this is in the first 2 or 3 episodes. So she runs away and gets to her house, because I guess they it seems like everyone is kind of lives nearby, because it is the local coven, kind of like the local church, I guess, for them. Yeah. So she runs to her house,
and Ambrose is like, "What the crap is going on?"
And she tells him that she didn't do the dark baptism, and he looks up, and their entire coven is after her. So
trying to get
exactly.
her.
So she runs up to him, and they're like, "You have to sign the book." And she's like, "You told me this wasn't this whole religion or whatever. It was about freedom." And
he's like, "Oh no, I didn't say that."
They're like, "No, you have to sign the book. You have to do it." And she's like, the whole thing was about the choice, because they're like, the false god, which is God from the Bible, is has you be strict, and you have to do this and you have to do this, and he doesn't understand. And the devil is all about freedom. There is no wrong or right, basically. But they're at the same time, they're kind of like, you have to sign this book. You have to. And she's like, I don't want to, because they tell her when she gets there that she will have to do whatever the devil wants her to. Basically, it's she'll get more power, and she won't age very rapidly. But sometimes the devil might be like, "Hey, you got to kill this guy." She has to do it. But she's like, "Y'all didn't tell me that before I got here." So that's what really, I think, this makes her decide to run away.
Yeah, so Ambrose bluffs and puts a protection.
Well, he doesn't actually. That's what's so great about it.
He doesn't. That's why I said he bluffs. He just yells really loud and puts his hands up and is like, "Anybody that's not a spellman that tries to cross this line will die."
He's like, "I put this barrier up."
Yeah, and he's like, "Try it."
And then they're like, "Dang, I can't."
And Sabrina's like, "Did you actually do that?" And he's like, "No, but I better start now."
I should probably start now. It's pretty great. I like Ambrose a lot.
I do too. So all while this is going on, there's the backstory of this warlock that's been killed by alleged witch hunters. So he was adopted, and he was a warlock in the world by himself. He had a familiar, and the familiar is their little companion. It's like their goblin companion, where they have to, they just help them.
It's like if you ever watched the show from the 90s, Salem the cat, that's her familiar. Yep. It's the same thing in this. It's a cat, except he doesn't talk.
So it's correct. Yeah, it talks to Sabrina,
Yeah.
but
He
only
doesn't
Sabrina
speak
can hear it.
English. He
Yeah.
speaks. I think just any witch can understand him, or any warlock.
Yeah.
But like in the show, he speaks English, or I guess I don't know if he speaks English or not, or it just is,
I don't know either.
or only they
I
can
will say,
understand him.
yeah, I will say that. Side thought, and then back to the main thought that I was sharing. Aunt Zelda's paper every morning is in a different language.
Like it's a different language every morning, or
Yeah,
or
every morning. Yeah, it's a different
like
language.
one day it'll
like,
be Latin, one day it'll be French. What do you mean?
yeah, one day it was like Latin, one day it was Japanese, the next day it was English, another day it was like German.
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So I kept looking at it, and I'd be like, I can read that, and then I'd be like, I can't read that.
Right.
That is clearly an Asian language, or that is clearly this language. And so which makes me think, she's been around for, who knows how long.
Yeah, I feel like
And,
they've been around for like a couple hundred years, maybe.
Exactly. So obviously, Hilda does say later when she is coming back from a date that she hasn't been this drunk since Queen Elizabeth's coronation.
Yeah.
So, but it's interesting how they do. They have the main story, Sabrina, and like the side story of like her high school life, and then like
High school drama.
Exactly, and then the side story of her aunts and like all the background stuff with that. And then like this other story that's running like right with Sabrina's, this warlock that got killed, and Ambrose is like super into it and like trying to figure out who did it, Mm-hmm. Because we never really find out who did it.
I assume we're gonna find out in season 2.
They
Definitely
are
gonna be
so they
season 2.
yes, so they took a week break so they finished filming and they took a week break and now they're filming season 2.
Yeah, so I'm sure that'll be out next Halloween.
Yeah.
Dude, after I got through watching this, the first thing I thought of after that was good was there was no Stranger Things season 3.
Yeah, good point.
Somebody dying in your back.
Yeah, man. Just it's more my sound crew just making some spooky noises because you said you said the word died, and so they thought they'd give it a little cough.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
I
So what do you think about the Witch Academy? I love the design.
I don't like
the huge statue of Satan, but I like the design.
I wish we would have seen more.
Me too. I feel like
And of course, this isn't like a massive Avengers.
Exactly.
It definitely had a big budget. But
I will say
budget.
So it was awesome. Production quality was great. There's something they did with the camera that I can't figure out why it did it. It just made it like, and I watched it on a couple different things just to see if it was me or if it was the devices I was watching it on. So every once in a while there was this like the camera would be in focus, but then it would like out focus and like the outside of the camera would go all like crystally, and like it was weird. They did it a couple times throughout the series of like just focusing on a point but not actually focusing on it. It would just focus on the background instead of the actual character in the frame. And I feel like they did that for a reason, to make it be like from somebody else's perspective. But it was just interesting to see that they chose that production camera quality.
I don't remember that, but I'd have to rewatch it and look for that. What's that sound?
It's somebody getting ready. So
Oh, okay.
yeah.
I thought there was static or something.
No.
Oh man, what were you saying? Okay, so after they kind of
We were talking about the Witch Academy.
Yeah.
Everything's like a perfect pentagram and it looks really cool, and
it's
she gets hazed.
yeah, she gets super hazed. They call it harrowing.
Yeah,
So
just
she
like-
gets there, and the girl that Jordan was talking about, Prudence, and 2 other girls, they're all orphans. And
They
we
are.
find out later that the head of the school, the high priest
The
of their coven,
high priest.
is Prudence's father.
Daddy.
Even though he like
The other 2 are just still
they're
orphans.
That's a great thing.
Are you our dad too?
No, you're just orphans.
You're. Oh,
Um,
it's like, dang, that's so sad.
So they like put her in this room, and they're like, this room will drive you insane, unless you can I guess hold through the night. I'm like, holy
Yeah.
crap! And then she gets Salem to come and like protect her through the night.
Yeah, because she is at the start of it. You can see that she is going to go insane, and she starts screaming. And obviously, Salem, being her familiar, comes to her rescue, and they're like,
Man,
and
they would've had
she
to,
plays
they
it.
would've had to kill me right there. Like,
Yeah.
nah, I
I'd
ain't
be like-
standing here. You're gonna have to kill me.
And then
They probably would
at
have,
first, Yeah, probably. They probably killed you. They probably would have killed me too, just because it's just and at first you think, okay, the heroine's done. She's not like in the clique, but they're gonna at least accept her a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like
nope.
they might
There's
be like,
more.
Okay,
there's more
we're
heroin.
not gonna. You survived. You earned our respect a little bit, so
Exactly.
You're welcome to the school, at least to some degree. But nope, they keep going and they up the ante.
Yeah, it's just so. Fast forward, Sabrina gets all these dead kids that have been killed through heroin.
What do they heroin? Don't they do 3? I mean, they steal her pajamas.
Yeah, they steal her pajamas,
like
and
it's not quite as big of a deal as.
No, they steal her pajamas, and they turn in Salem to the headmaster, the high priest, and he has to go home with Aunt Zelda, and then they hang her, or they attempt to hang her.
Yeah, they literally say, we're gonna kill you.
And it's just like, what?
This is
like.
So she's like, nah, fam, this ain't gonna happen.
And so she gets all these dead children that have died at the academy by heroin to help her pretty much hang them with a spell.
Yeah, it's pretty dope, I'm not gonna lie.
She like chokes them for a while, and they're like, okay, we won't mess with you anymore. And she like lets them down. She's like, if you ever mention my mother and father again, or talk about them to anybody else, I will choke you on your own blood. And it's like, dang.
Death on your own blood.
Yeah, thank you. Choke you to death on your own blood. And it's like, dang, Sabrina. And so, you see her throughout the series.
Kind of grow and become a little darker.
Kind of grow.
Which is, the woman who killed, earlier in the episode we talked about, her teacher dying. She got replaced by a witch demon person thing.
Mm-hmm. Which is the mother of all demons.
Mother of all demons. And she's kind of pushing Sabrina to be darker, so she will, in the end, sign the book of the not the book of the damned, the book of the beast.
Book of the beast.
And the high priest or the headmaster is also trying to do the same thing. So they're kind of trying to push her to make darker decisions.
It's interesting because I feel like even though they're trying to get the same goal, they're both racing to do it before one another so they can get the recognition from the Dark Lord. Mm-hmm. That's what I feel. Yeah. That was going on through the whole time.
I feel like the Madam Satan or whatever she's called, is definitely does more of that. I feel like.
Oh yeah, Lilith. Yeah, she's pretty great.
I feel like the high priest actually at least somewhat cares about the students and stuff. He cares about the coven at least as a whole.
It's interesting. It made me. I'm curious to see what they're going to do in season 2 to see if they're going to branch out and have more covens and more schools.
Man, she stole his baby.
Yeah, she did.
So
it was just. So yeah, go ahead.
The high priest's wife is insane. First of all, so she finds out that Prudence is his illegitimate daughter, and she finds a way to. There's this ritual called the Feast of Beasts, mm-hmm. which is like their Thanksgiving. They draw a lottery, and whoever draws the right or wrong, I guess, depending on your perspective, is sacrificed to Satan and eaten.
Yep. Yeah, they are named the Queen of the Feast, and so during the feast, the high priest or Lady Blackwood is doing giving out the names or whatever, and she puts a little curse on the parchment that people are choosing. So Prudence, the high priest, illegitimate daughter, gets chosen as queen of the feast, and that's all she wants. She's like, I totally want to be eaten by everybody. I can be part of everyone in the coven.
It's gonna be Daddy Satan.
Gotta be part of Daddy Say. Get some, it's gonna be awesome. I'm gonna see his glory flames eternally, and it's awesome. And Sabrina's like, I don't think so. Like, what? This is wrong. Like, I'm not gonna eat you.
Yeah.
And so Sabrina is selected as the handmaiden, so she has to take care of Prudence and give her whatever she wants. And
so Zelda. Their family gets chosen as one of the families that has to draw to see if they get eaten. And mm-hmm. Zelda's like, Hilda can't do it because she
got excommunicated
from the church. Ambrose can't do it because it's only women. And I'm not going to let Sabrina do it because she's too young, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to do it. And Sabrina's like, this is barbaric. I don't want to lose another member of my family. So she devises a plan to basically do what Katniss does in the Hunger Games, and she's like, I'll be the one who volunteers to draw the lottery, and she's thinking my aunt is gonna object to this.
Stop this.
She's like, unless you have an objection, on Zelda to this barbaric practice, and she's just like, no.
It's like, what? I was like, Zelda, you freaking cool words I can't say.
She's like, then later in that episode, she's like, would you have let them eat me, if I'd been chosen? And then she's like, never. I would have never. Not Zoe. Sabrina, like, what if it was the Dark Lord's will, whatever? And Zelda's like, I wouldn't have cared. It wouldn't have mattered. So
that was nice to see that she actually cares.
Yeah, she definitely cares.
And it's not just.
And you kind of see that more as the season
show goes on.
Exactly.
So as this episode goes on, so there's like this whole. Lady Blackwood doesn't want Prudence to be the Queen of Feast.
No, she does.
Prudence. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I misspoke.
She wants her to die.
She does want. Yeah, and so they have the little meal at Sabrina's house to like fatten her up, and because she can get whatever she wants. She has an orgy in Sabrina's attic with her cousin Ambrose and a whole bunch of other people because she's the Queen of the Feast and she can pretty much do whatever she wants and get whatever she wants up until the feast when people eat her. So. Sabrina takes her to school, and she learns that Harvey's family are witch hunters, and
they were like 300 years ago.
They were not anymore. So, just to be safe, Sabrina cast a protection spell on Harvey, and it kind of just it evolves to see that Prudence is Father Blackwood's daughter, and not Prudence, my bad. Lady Blackwood cast the spell, and so. She wants her children to be the ones that are heirs to the throne. Going back to what Ryan said earlier, Zelda, who is a midwife, been a midwife for years, never lost a babe during delivery, because Lady Prudence, oh my gosh, Lady Blackwood has lost 2 children already, and so Zelda was brought in by Father Blackwood to be able to make sure the babies live correctly. So Zelda steals the first baby, which is a girl, because she tells Blackwood that he's having 2 sons, twins, but instead, when the babies are actually delivered, Prudence also knows this because she's there during the delivery, and she takes the baby because a daughter being born before a son is just a big no-no.
They could have just told him that the son was born first.
Exactly. He wasn't there.
No, he was definitely not there, and his wife died.
Oh, and yeah, his wife dies. So and Prudence isn't going to say anything.
No, she kind of hates him.
Exactly. So she does call him father and daddy every once in a while, though, which is
to dig the knife in.
Yeah. No, not at all.
Let's see what else about the story. Let's see. She denies that she wants to.
Oh, Mildred, who's up there pretty much begging the whole time, like, please let it be me. When is it gonna be my turn? This, please. Like, so Prudence doesn't get eaten
because the lottery was fixed basically, and they were gonna cancel it forever.
Mm-hmm. And Mildred just stands up and slits her throat, and everyone's sitting there in the chapel with like knives and forks, and they just start eating Mildred. Yep. Like just eat her, and it's just like, dang. And Father Blackwood, you can kind of see like he's kind of relieved because he's hungry because they've been fasting to eat.
He's also didn't really want to cancel the feast. I don't think.
Exactly, and so he was just kind of like, Mildred, queen of the feast. And it's just like, wow.
He's not like as ravenous, I would say, as the others. It looks like he's actually doing it as some kind of a weird tribute thing. But man, almost everyone else, including Prudence's, the other 2 weird sisters, like I guess her 2 best friends, just dig into this corpse, fresh corpse.
Yeah, exactly. Like literally, she slit her throat. She might
not be dead yet.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I find it funny, it's Prudence, Agatha, and Dorcas are the weird sisters. Yeah, her name is Dorcas. That is hilarious. Dorcas. Yeah. So, yeah, it's funny that. So at the end of the Feast of Feast episode, Dorcas and Agatha are performing a ritual to kill Harvey and his brother in the mines because earlier in the season, Harvey is going hunting with his family, and they kill a familiar, which they think is a deer. So the weird sisters are still pretty angry about the familiar being killed, and they're gonna put a curse on him.
This show places a lot of emphasis like on your family and on your past and stuff. It's kind of weird. They're like, your family's witch hunters, so we have to kill you or whatever.
It's like, but I'm
Exactly.
not. It's like, but that doesn't matter. We're gonna kill you anyway. It's like, are you sure?
So Prudence walks in, and I guess they think she's going soft or something. So they're like, we're just thanking Satan that you didn't get eaten. So then they use voodoo dolls to cause a cave-in to try to kill Harvey and his brother.
At the mines where they work.
Exactly. Yeah, they work in. Their dads own the mine. Their dad owns the mine, which is kind of weird. That why are they working there if he owns the mine? But I guess it's he's like a real. You gotta work a certain job to be a man.
You gotta be a man's man. You gotta work hard.
You gotta get
muscles on your muscles.
Asbestos poisoning. Otherwise, you're not working.
Because Harvey, he's a really good artist, and he wants to be a comic book artist.
Talks about Neil Gaiman and other graphic novelists.
And his dad's like, you ain't doing none of that gay sissy stuff. You're gonna be working in the mines with me.
So
it's just like
he's working at first because when he was a kid, he saw a demon in the mines, and no one believed him. So that happens. Let's see. So they go into the mines, and his those two weird sisters use voodoo dolls and cause a cave-in, but Sabrina had put a protective charm or curse or whatever on Harvey because they were talking about how they needed to kill him.
How they needed to kill him.
He killed the familiar. I don't even know if it was him. It wasn't him. It definitely wasn't him. It was his grandfather.
No.
So they cause a cave-in, and Harvey is able to get out, and they're like, where's your brother? And they haven't been able to find him. We've been looking, and but it's getting close to dark, and we don't have the tools to get in there.
It's like, we'll get him tomorrow, and Harvey's like, no, man, we gotta get him now. So there's this really cute scene of Harvey and Sabrina staying the night in his truck bed. Yeah. Like any cute high school couple would, that has a pickup. It's like, we're gonna spend the night and look at this.
In the show.
There are, it's a cool. A lot of the small, thank you, aesthetics are really cool.
They are.
I enjoy those a lot. So yeah, this little Tommy burial story arc goes on for a little bit. It definitely drives the series home into, it goes from high school drama to boy drama to just really life drama
leads to the end of the show, I'd say.
Yeah, and then it's just hey, people died. It's magic's fault, and it's just and
burn the witches.
We'll get burn the witches. We'll get into that.
I was gonna say all the while this is happening, I was gonna talk about the other side stories with her friends.
Sure.
So while all this is happening, her friend who is going blind finds out Roz and her the girl Susie Roz finds out she has powers.
Yeah, it's called the cunning from her Nana Ruth. So Nana Ruth is a blind woman.
And also, the reason that she was so upset about the books is because she was going blind.
Correct. So her Nana Ruth tells her the reason that Walker women go blind is because they were cursed by a witch in the past because they crossed her. So that's the reason she's going blind. But she doesn't really know, she later asked, hey, was it Aunt Nana Ruth, was it a spellman that cursed us? And she's like, no, baby, you know your friends. You know your friends good or not. She's a good person. She kind of starts
to figure out that Sabrina might be a witch because this cunning thing, which her grandmother's like, we go blind, but we get to see things that other people can't because we have this thing called the cunning, which is kind of implied that we don't know if it's a side effect of the curse or it is part of the curse. You have to, you see these horrible events, so we don't know which one. And she sees Sabrina in I don't know. Did she see
vision?
In a vision in limbo, I guess.
Mm-hmm,
and she's like
in mortal limbo.
And she's like, is Sabrina? And so she kind of starts to get curious as to why she saw that. So after and her other friend Susie, starts to see the ghost of an ancestor, and she talks about how her and her other members of the family saved witches from being persecuted in the old country, wherever that was, and brought them over here. And then, but they couldn't save them from being murdered over here in the witch trials. Maybe don't be a witch and you won't get murdered. So they get hung, and they her and her family pull them down from the trees and bury them, so they're not I guess hanging in trees. Pretty bad.
Yeah, it's so sad.
So then her at the same time she is seeing Sabrina in visions, her friend Susie starts to talk to her ghost ancestor in about witches and stuff, about the Spellmans, and she's like, the Spellmans. She says that the Spellmans still witches. She's like, what? That's crazy.
What? She's like, huh? She's
hold up, girl.
Hold up, ancestor. You mean my best friend's a witch?
Mm-hmm.
So throughout the series, Sabrina tells Harvey 3 times she's a witch.
She does.
And erases two of the times, and it's just like, yeah.
No.
She's
she
like,
only tells him. The second time she tells him is in a dream.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. My bad.
Batty
yeah.
Bat.
So, Batty Bat, man, Batty Bat was so creepy, but I loved her.
Let's see. Yeah. So, what about Miss? What was her name? Miss.
Are you talking about Madam Satan?
Yeah. What's her real name? Or not her real name? Her name is Madam Satan.
Westbrook. What?
Not Westbrook. That's bad.
West Wardwell.
Wardwell. Is that it?
Yeah, Wardwell.
So, this whole time, Miss Wardwell has been pushing Sabrina to do things like, we'll discuss that in a second. She like breaks into her house and she saves her from Batty Bat. And
she puts a curse on the mirror so she can watch her. She becomes the Sabrina puts her down as the faculty advisor for her club, for Wicca.
She's like whispering in her ear like, oh, you should be evil. You should be evil.
Yeah, and that's pretty much like, and we learn at the end of the series that the story is being told from.
Is it though?
I
don't think it is. I don't think it is. I think just that last part.
Now that I think about it, okay, yeah, you're
right.
Because I was thinking that exactly, so I guess he finally got that drink he wanted.
He was, after she's been kind of pushing her and pushing her, she starts to do other things like that. I thought she had already done some more stuff, but I guess she kind of pushed her to do the spider thing, and
she pushed her to Aphros, the parasitic demon.
Yeah, that's right.
All eating the eating worm.
So Susie's
uncle
got taken over by this demonic parasite that was in the mines. Thank you. And she pushes Sabrina to do, and with her some of her family, a exorcism, which
witches
forbidden.
Can't do.
Witches are not
forbidden.
supposed to do it. But she does
because that's a false god thing that they do. Catholic Church, they do exorcisms, witches can't perform. And Sabrina just kept asking all these questions. Who's this demon? Can we do exorcisms? Blah blah blah. And they're like, no, you stupid girl, we can't do. Shut up and listen to the lesson.
So she does it, and then Miss Madam Satan comes back and kills him. I guess so it'll make Sabrina feel bad because he died, and she's like, oh man.
I could have saved him. I should have done better. If I was more powerful.
Yeah. And around this time, the mine accident has been happening too, so she feels down about that as well. And Empress, what's that called again? Dang it! When he goes and like astral projects into the mine to see if he can find any survivors, and he comes back and there are none.
Yep.
Earlier in a few episodes ago, Susie had crawled into the mine because she's the smallest one, and all she could find was his helmet that was like bashed in and had some blood on it. So they were already kind of worried. And Ambrose comes back and tells Sabrina and the aunts that aunties that Tommy, who's Harvey's brother's name, is dead. So they're like, "Dang, that sucks. We should tell we should tell
them. We should tell the mortals.
Yeah, and they're like, we can't do that. How would we do that? Sabrina's like, we need to find a way to tell them because we don't want anyone else to get hurt, and Harvey needs to know. But then, I don't know why, but she decides to resurrect Tommy.
Gosh, that was she said that, and I'm like, you're an idiot. You can't just go resurrecting whoever you want. Like, what? Mm. So stupid. So in front of the Spellman house, there's this pit called the Cain Pit. It's dirt from like Cain and Abel. It's soil that was soaked by the blood of Abel.
And blood of Cain and Abel, I think. Or something like
that. Yeah. So and it resurrects witches and warlocks because that's of what we just said, and we know it works because Zelda openly kills Hilda multiple times. Just kills her and she revives herself. And so Sabrina gets the great idea of like, oh yeah, we're gonna murder Agatha
because Agatha and Nerdo, whatever her name is, killed Tommy. They straight up killed him. But they're like, you can't. It doesn't matter. You can't do this. It upsets the natural order, and you're not strong enough to do it. So, Zelda and Hilda and Ambrose are constantly like, you don't need to do this. You're gonna screw it up. You don't, know what could happen. But she's like, no, I don't want Harvey to feel bad. And all this time, they're like, there's hope that maybe Tommy's alive, right? For 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
And so she decides. She gets Prudence and another friend that she meets, Nick. Is it Nick? To help her perform this ritual.
So Sabrina only knows that Agatha and Dorcas did this. They were crushing the puppets because Roz, at the funeral after Harvey and his dad got into a fight,
yes, I forgot to mention this.
They knock over the casket, and Roz picks up the helmet and has a cunning vision. And she sees that Dorcas and Agatha are crushing the puppets, she obviously, she sees them in the mines crushing the puppets. Obviously, her not knowing at this time that Sabrina's a witch tells Sabrina about this, and Sabrina's like, "Oh, that's interesting. I'm gonna look into that." And she's like, "Yo, Prudence, your girls are acting crazy." And Prudence is like, "Oh, they lied to me. Let's kill them."
They're like, Sabrina isn't a killer. And Prudence is like, I am though. Like, oh snap! And then take their like, which one of you started this or whose idea was? And it was, I don't know, Agatha's, I guess.
Agatha's, yeah.
And they're like, we're gonna kill you, and we're gonna because they want to perform this ritual. They need like a soul for a soul, or whatever.
Yeah, and Sabrina thought, she's like, Sabrina ends up killing Agatha, just straight up slits her throat.
And I thought she wanted to kill her.
Yeah, I thought she wasn't going to kill her, but, she obviously thinks she can trick death itself by, killing Agatha, and then Tommy will come back, which Tommy did come back, and so did Agatha, but the earth still needs a soul. Mm-hmm. It still needs a dead body. And so Agatha becomes sick and starts coughing up, like gravel and dirt, and, she wasn't supposed to come back. That's not how it's supposed to be.
Tommy is what really, it's kind of sucks because it was Agatha and Dorco's fault. Because they killed him, and since he was quote unquote killed before his time, whatever that means, he goes to purgatory instead of heaven.
Yeah, he goes to mortal limbo, which plot wise Sabrina can get there because she's a half witch. So
let's see. Dang, I'm having a brain fart. So she kills her and does this whole ritual because once again her teacher has kind of let her steal this book that she has that on resurrection.
The Book of the Death, or whatever it's called.
And they're like, please don't do this, and they're like, shut up, I'm gonna kill you. And they're like, all right, I'm gonna kill you, and they kill her. And they bury her, leave her dead for like 13 minutes, and then they go and bury her in the Garden of Cain.
The Cain Pit. Yeah, the Cain Pit.
The Cain Pit. Is the Garden of Cain or Cain? Is Cain Pit?
It's called Cain Pit, yeah.
And she comes back to life, and they tell, and what's her name? Prudence is like, if you ever do this again, I'll kill you myself or something, and you won't come back to life. then she goes and talks and tells Tommy that everything's going. Not Tommy.
Harvey.
Ambrose.
Ambrose.
That everything's
Thank
worked
you.
out.
Yeah, Ambrose.
And Ambrose is like, I don't know. This.
I don't think so.
She's
Like,
like, you'll see. Just wait. In 13 hours, Tommy will be back. And he comes back, but he doesn't have a soul. He's basically a zombie.
Yeah. So after that, the Kinkles think everything's cool, and Sabrina, ultimately has to go to Limbo, get Tommy's soul. So Miss Wardwell helps her, opens up a portal to the mortal realm, or the mortal Limbo, and
man, you got a lot of stuff
what's the
going
word
on
I'm looking
over
for? That's the spooks right now, man. You got ghosts opening doors everywhere. So the Miss Wardwell opens up a portal. Sabrina jumps into I almost said the Nether. What's it called?
Limbo.
Thank you, Limbo. Opens up Limbo, and she finds Tommy. She also sees her mom in there, which is interesting.
It kind of alludes to the fact. So her mom and dad was supposedly died in an accident, but she was told that they were murdered or something.
Which they obviously they were murdered.
Kind of
like that's
to, the fact because apparently if you get murdered, you go to Limbo because you quote unquote died before your time.
So that confirms that I think that her dad murdered her mom.
There was somebody did say that earlier. Like she's like, somebody said my dad killed my mom. Did she say that? Or was that in the comic? And
that was in the comic that he made her super lobotomized and like melted her brain, turned it into a smoothie, So I just think that he did it in the show as well. Anyway, so she has to get Tommy, and Tommy's he's taken back by what they call a soul eater. So she's unsuccessful at bringing Tommy back.
Obliterated, and
so they almost make it to the portal, and Sabrina is like holding on his hand, and she like comes out of the portal, but only with his hand,
and then
it just evaporates because he's eaten by a soul eater. So
I like how she's like, what does that mean? What happened? And the teacher's like, you know what that means. And
it's like, Sabrina, why are you an idiot?
No, I was like, no, I don't know what this means. Why don't you tell me what it means?
Well, I kind of figured it out. Like, obviously, that he was eaten by a soul eater? So does it
mean he doesn't exist? Does it mean he goes to hell? Does that mean he goes to a different dimension?
I just assume he doesn't exist anymore. He's just gone. Like,
I wish they would have been like, you know what this means. And the first thing I thought of was, just tell us. I don't know what it means.
Yeah. And I was kind of like, I get what it means, but I'd like for you to explain, but I get why they're not telling Sabrina, because, she was just being stupid at that moment in time. Like, what does it mean? It's like, he's dead. He's gone. Get over it. Like, he's not. Well, yeah, he's dead again. Dead twice.
That's the other thing. So, Tommy becomes a danger because apparently he eats human flesh. Now, they find in the morgue, Ambrose and Zelda and them find like human bite marks. And I figured out that Tommy was like eating the members of the crew that died down there with him. Because he was a zombie, basically. So they're like, we can't let him live. We have to kill him. So Sabrina is like, I'll kill him. And at the same time, Zelda and the Weird Sisters are sent to kill him by the High Priest. And or what's her name?
Prudence and the Weird Sisters.
No, Zelda's also sent. Zelda's like, I'll take care of this.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Sabrina like tells Zelda, no, I'm gonna do this. So she heads to do it. Something fell in my freaking keyboard. Dang it.
Well, just let it be there.
I got it
Not
out.
really. Get it out.
Woo!
Okay, good. Oh man.
And
Yeah. So she goes. Sabrina. Basically, think of it like this: like if it was the last zombie on Earth and everyone's trying to kill it, that's kind of what this is like,
Odie Yeller?
Yeah.
It's basically this.
It's basically this. People everyone wants this thing dead. And so Sabrina finally tells Harvey again, not in a dream, not erases his memory. It's just like, hey, this is why it happened. I'm a witch. I'm sorry. I'm also an idiot. Like, I tried bringing your brother back. And he's like, hold up. Like, I'm sure he'd been fine with like, hey, the reason your brother is dead because people are bitches, but I'm the reason your brother is dead.
Like super dead. Like maybe he doesn't exist anymore.
yeah, like, and I'm sorry that your brother's a zombie. And she's like, I'll take care of it. And he's like, no, I got this. And so she like runs out and leaves. And like, it's like one of those things where she's like still, like, she's still in the yard of the house, but you can hear that, you can hear when the gunshot goes off and that Harvey had to kill his own brother again.
Yeah, the Weird Sister's like out in the yard, and Nick had used this pretty cool spell where he like stabbed their shadows or something, and spikes like shoot up to their face.
Stab their. It's an old witch catching technique. If you put a railroad spike, which is iron, through a witch's footprint, they're held in place until they remove the spike.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. And man, everyone. He has to kill his own brother.
Yeah. And this is a super small town, so obviously everyone was talking about that, somebody came back from the dead.
Well, no one thought he came from the dead. Everyone thought that he just miraculously survived.
Yeah, came back. But now it's like, hey, I know we had a funeral, but Tommy committed suicide the other day.
There was no body in the casket.
Oh, that's true. That's true. So, now he's like, because Sabrina's like, what'd you tell your dad? He's like, I told him Tommy did it. Like, Tommy took a rifle and shot himself in the face.
I felt like his dad was probably just in such a, a way, probably drunk and distraught, that he just kind of believed it.
Yeah, exactly. And I would have too at that moment in time.
Tommy was not himself at all, so he kind of could have believed it, that it happened. But man, everyone's like, oh man, I'm so sorry, Sabrina. I'm like,
what?
Why are you?
It's like, why are you saying sorry to her?
He had to kill his own brother. I guess they don't know, but they do.
Yeah.
Because she tells them. Because this is after her friends find out that she's a witch. So I'm like, holy crap. And then Tommy's like, I could never hate you, Sabrina. And they don't get back together or anything because he's like, every time I see you, all I think about is how, I had to murder my own brother. I'm like, could never. If someone, I don't know if I could ever forgive you if you did something like that. I don't care if it's.
I don't know either. It's like, why are you going to try to bring back somebody from the dead, even if they did,
scar this kid for life, man.
So not. I think he's gonna like. I think either he's gonna have a mentor in season 2 that's gonna.
He's gonna become a witch hunter.
That's what I was gonna say. I think he's either gonna become a witch hunter of his own choices, or he's gonna have a mentor and be like, hey, you wanna get back at that bitch ex-girlfriend of yours? I'll show you how. And it's like, so there's a lot of stuff that's just like, Hilda being excommunicated, Zelda having relations with the high priest, and being the baby's godmother, which is kind of funny because she stole one of the babies. And season 2 is definitely going to be darker and
have to go on.
Yeah, exactly. Ambrose being bound to the academy.
Why did he get bound to the academy?
Well, that's what he did, so he couldn't teleport away when
I feel like
when the
that ended. I feel like he just did that until it was over.
Oh yeah, when the 13.
So let's talk about that. Let's talk about the final episode or two, the final act or whatever.
Yeah. So Ambrose gets a familiar from the high priest called Leviathan. It's a mouse.
That's pretty cool. I like that.
Which is kind of cool. I'm interested. I don't know anything more about it. I'd be interested to see what it can do. So, that's good.
Yes, that is good.
Yep. The last couple episodes, it just kind of seemed like it was a good slow burn to like the final episode of like what had happened. So, what do you think of the last couple episodes?
I liked it. I'm
Me
trying to
too.
think of what causes or does Miss what's her name?
So yeah, episode 9 leading into episode 10 is like the mine and collapse. We just talked about that. Harvey having to kill his brother. Susie is talking to her dead ancestor. Her and Jazz both find out Sabrina's a witch. And then, season 10, season 10. Yeah, and Harvey. Sorry, chapter 10, the witching hour, is obviously the final episode. It's a little bit longer than a normal episode. It's like an hour and some change.
Yeah, it's probably maybe an hour. It's not an hour 30, but maybe an hour 15 or an hour 20.
Yeah. So at the top of the episode, Roz and Susie, Sabrina's still going through all this stuff of like breaking up with Harvey breaking up with her, the whole resurrection thing going wrong. just having a pity party, really. And I get it. It's a hard crap she had to go through. So Roz and Susie confront Sabrina. Yeah, and no, she didn't. But still, Harvey should definitely be more distraught than he is. But I get it. So Roz and Susie are like, "Hey, are you a witch?" And and she's like, in that moment, you have like the whole slow-mo scene where it's like, where she's like, no, they're like, "Girl, don't lie to us." I know, she's such a terrible liar, man. You think she'd have a spell or something to make her a good liar?
Is that?
And the spells in this they're not really like hocus pocus, like sparkles and glitter. It's more or less just like speaking or different, a couple hand stuff,
What?
But I like, what? What?
What you saying?
I was talking about the spells in the show and how they're, they're not like tons of special effects. It's more or less just like,
really.
It's more just like spoken words. So Sabrina's just like straight up like, "Yeah, I'm a witch." I'm like, "Dang, man!" Like you just straight up told him, okay.
She wanted to tell him, like the whole time.
Oh yeah, she's like, "Oh, I wanted to tell you the whole time," and she like just crying, and it's a big emotional scene, and so.
So after that, what had happened?
So you got Madam Satan, seduces Steve and sacrifices him at the hanging tree to conjure the Greendale 13.
What are the Greendale 13?
So the Greendale 13 are 13 witches that were sacrificed by the coven and hung up by mortals a long time ago.
All right, there's 13 down. Let's go find the rest.
It's like, okay, we hung up 13 mortals today, 13 more tomorrow.
So they decide to sacrifice these witches so they can escape from the witch hunters. And they said we could have gone back and could have gotten them and saved them, but the coven decided that it was too dangerous and that they should just keep running away because they didn't want to risk the entire coven, which it kind of makes sense, but it sucks at the same time. Also,
Ambrose is finally. That's true. So Ambrose and his boyfriend Luke. Luke is under a love spell by his Aunt Hilda. Just
not his old Aunt Hilda.
Luke
and Hilda.
Yeah, thank you. So they're out and about, just kind of hanging out in the woods, which I guess it's what warlocks do on a date. That's what witches
do, man. They're like in every witch movie or anything, like two things you can count on.
They're like
weird sexual tension and nudity, and hanging out in the woods.
Yeah, they do. They do have a lot of sex in this. Like Ambrose and his boyfriend get it on in the high priest chamber, like in his office.
Well, they don't.
They don't totally get it on.
They were about to
start to get it on.
They were
about to get it on.
They have an orgy with Prudence and
Nick,
and the rest of the weird sisters. Yeah,
weird sisters.
They're like, at one point, Sabrina, walks in on him. Is like, "What are you doing?" And Amber's like, and then Prudence is like, "Either get out or join. I don't care. Just make a decision."
It's like, dang, ooh.
Yeah. Sabrina's 16.
So, yeah, 13. So the Greendale 13 summon the Red Angel of Death, and they send Ambrose, to pretty much give everybody a message like, "Hey, we're gonna come, and your whole town's gonna die, just so you know."
Oh, they don't. That's right. They do. I was trying to remember exactly what happened. Yeah. So Ambrose and Luke stumble upon them witches. And one of them witches is like, "I'm going to kill you, boy. Except I don't want to kill you because I got a message for you to tell people, and it ain't good." And then she punches him in the mouth. But she chokes him out and throws him to the ground. And he finds this little wooden horse toy. And he's like, "Oh man, this means this ain't good." So he runs and finds his aunt. I almost said aunt and uncle, but no.
Yeah, aunties.
And is like, "I think this means that the Horseman of Death, the Red Horseman of Death, is coming." And they're like, "Yeah, that's what it means."
They're like, "That's what it means." So Father Blackwood orders all the witches to the academy for their safety, and obviously the Spellmans are going to do something stupid to protect the mortals. So they conjure a tornado, which makes everybody go to Baxter High and
the designated tornado shelter.
Safety zone.
Exactly. Because the witches kind of abandon the mortals because a lot of them believe that the mortals are, they believe in the false god or that they killed witches in the past and whatnot. Hey, I said it.
Yep.
So they, except for a few witches, go to the school for for witches, and like protect the school. They're like,
the mortals.
All together, we can keep the not Ghost Rider, the Angel of Death or whatever.
That would have made this so much more
The
interesting.
Ghost Rider just pops up. No, the Red Angel of Death from coming into the school.
Yes, the spellmen are
Because
casting a protection spell.
He only has like an hour to get in or something.
Yeah. And so as they're holding the spell, one by one they get teleported away. So Zelda gets teleported away
Yeah,
to
they're
Lady
holding the
Blackwood.
spell. They go with
Yeah.
I don't think we mentioned this. The spellmans go with the mortals to protect them because, like Jordan said, they conjure up a tornado to get them to go to the school so they can protect them in one area of Zelda, Ambrose,
yeah.
like all the spellmans go there.
Hilda, yeah. And Harvey is being stubborn. Him and his dad are going to stay at his house because they don't want anything to do with witches. Or Harvey doesn't. He's like, I'll protect this house. And Sabrina's like, okay, fine. Stay here, you stubborn man. And so she sends Nick to protect them, and which is kind of cool and nice of her. And there's like a weird conversation between like Harvey and Nick, like, are you sleeping with her? It's like, no, I'm her ex-boyfriend. Are you sleeping with her? So it's just like, are you together? And so, they're holding the, back at the school, they're holding a protection spell, the Spellmans are. And, Auntie Z, Zelda, gets teleported out by Father Blackwood because Lady Blackwood is going into birth. Going into labor. And Ambrose gets teleported out by his boyfriend, Nick.
Nick is with, at Harvey's house.
My bad. Thank you.
It.
Yeah. Thank you.
I actually really like this episode.
I did too. It was like a lot of stuff happened, but it was a good final episode. So Ambrose gets teleported out by Luke, and then it's just Hilda, who's been excommunicated, which I would imagine, might have dampened her powers a little bit. It's never actually said if it's dampened her powers or not. So she's excommunicated, and she's standing there, and then her boss, who she has a crush on, Dr. whatever his name is. I forget his name.
He used to be a
weatherman.
He's not a doctor. What does he call himself? Doctor or something?
Yeah, he calls himself
Dr.
Doctor or
Death
whatever.
Or something. That's not it though. That's not it. He has a nickname for himself though. So he's like the owner of this coffee shop / comic book store. It's kind of cool.
It is really cool. I'd totally shop and eat there.
And
like
so
that's pretty awesome.
There and dresses up as the
Bride of Frankenstein.
I really like the show.
Yeah.
So they start to like each other, and
he's like, "What are you doing up here?" She's like, "Oh, I'm just saying a little prayer to,
for the tornado."
Yeah, for the tornado. That'll protection or whatever. And she's like, "Can I do anything?" She's like, "Yeah, just hold my hands, And she's like, "Nah, well, what could it hurt? Maybe."
And then he gets speared through the head by Goldberg.
That'd be awesome.
Is here. That's what it says.
That'd be hilarious. So she, the Angel of Death is starting to seep through the doors because she can't hold the. That just caught me off guard. So the Angel of Death starts going through the doors, and she's trying to hold it, and she's obviously like, hey, get out of here, cast a protection or a spell on him to make him run away.
No, she casts a spell on him to protect him, and she's like, we have to run. I don't know what that is, but we gotta run. We gotta go. I'll be right behind you. And then she has to hold off the Angel of Death as long as she can.
But she does cast a spell on him. She's like run away. But it's just funny. It made me seem like it was a runaway spell, but you're correct. It is a protection spell. It was just the way she worded it. So like we said, Lady Blackwood dies while she's giving birth. Zelda lies to Father. Yep, dies.
Dead.
Prudence comes and helps deliver the babies. Zelda lies to Father Blackwood, claiming that the larger twin ate the weaker twin. He's like, delicious. Yes, as it should be.
I think the way I took that was, or I kind of took that. So she said that it died in the womb and was consumed by the other one. And I think he was kind of trying to say if he died, then he should be consumed. So the other one makes the other one stronger, giving him the benefit of the doubt. I mean, he's a loony, even if he meant that, but still.
Exactly. So, and this is pretty much like how it ends. There's like a couple other small details. So, obviously everybody survives.
Not everybody.
Well, not everybody,
The
but
grandmother dies.
most of the.
What's her name's? Roz's grandmother dies. Lady Blackwood dies, and then I don't know. They say most of the
Sabrina
survives. So
yeah, Sabrina gets a cool new hairdo. It's all white and straight.
A big portion about how this actually ends. You don't remember how they actually stop the night? We didn't talk about that.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. How did I forget that?
Like, Jordan, he's skipping a pretty big portion of the.
My bad. So okay. Fast forward before Lady Blackwood dies, and after the Zelda and Ambrose are teleported.
It's gonna happen around the same time that what's her name? Hilda is trying to hold off the Black Knight, I would say.
Yeah. So Sabrina is taken to the woods by her teacher, who is Madam Satan, but obviously Sabrina doesn't know that at the moment in time. She just thinks she's a witch that's been excommunicated, and she's pretty much not forced, but convinced to sign the Book of the Beast to gain power to defeat them.
She's like, you need, she is at the school with them, and after Hilda and Zelda. No, not Hilda.
Ambrose and Zelda.
I think you get taken away. What's her name walks up, and she's like, they're like, help us keep the Black Knight. Not the Black Knight. That's Danny Phantom.
Yep.
The ghost, the
Angel of Death.
The ghost boy, the Angel of Death out, and she's like, I fear that even our combined power wouldn't be enough to hold him off long enough for the witching hour to be over. So she's like, I have a way, Sabrina, but if we want to do it, we have to leave now. So she brings her to the place where she almost got dark baptized, and is like, I know you're not gonna like this, but I think you're gonna have to sign the Book of the Dead. Oh, not the Book of the Dead. The
Book of the Beast.
We kind of skipped over that whole arc about her trial.
Oh yeah.
Let's go to that real quick.
Yeah. Okay. So Sabrina has a trial, and this is probably one of my favorite arcs in the series.
I'm surprised we missed it.
So, me too. Okay. So she has a trial, and she has to deal with the aftermath of running away from her dark baptism. She's summoned to the coven. It's like, you promised, and she's like, what are you talking about? I didn't promise anything. You lied to me. Blah blah blah.
She's like,
and so
I'm Satan, kid. What do you expect?
She hires a mortal lawyer who specializes in witch law to help her. And who's that lawyer? Daniel MFN Webster, which was pretty. You don't know who Daniel Webster is?
Keep telling the story. I'll look it up.
Okay, so Daniel Webster is her lawyer. Turns out Daniel Webster made a deal with the devil back in the day to be the best lawyer ever.
New Hampshire, Massachusetts, in the House of Representatives. Served as a senator. Mm-hmm. I thought he was going to have something to do with ghosts.
Nope. So it's just he's just a good lawyer.
Daniel Webster.
Yeah.
The Devil and Daniel Webster is a short story by Stephen Vincent Benet. This Faust. I like how the high priest's name is Faust. Like the the story.
I like that too.
So Irving's short story, The Devil, and Tom Walker. Okay, I don't want to read this whole article. Apparently, he has something to do with the devil.
Yeah. Okay. So in the TV show, he made a deal with the devil to be the best lawyer ever, and he ended up only representing terrible people and getting them out of jail. Like people that killed whales, people that did unspeakable things to
people who killed whales. The worst people. If you kill whales, you're pretty far up there.
No, it's in the clippings that Madam. Yeah, Miss Wardwell makes a scrapbook of things to show Sabrina, and just leaves it out in the library when Sabrina's doing research about what's his name? Oh my gosh, not Whitaker. I just said his name. Thank you. Yes. So Sabrina finds it in the library because there's too many names in this. Miss Wardwell leaves it out for her to see, and it's like all the people he's defended over the years, and she's like, I don't want you defending me. You've defended, and in the clippings it shows like whale killers and people that have done unspeakable
I like
things.
He explains it away immediately.
Exactly. People that have done unspeakable things to children and women. And so he's like, hey, I know a lot about witch law because your dad taught me about it. And I wanted to be the best lawyer ever. So I made a deal with the devil. And the people that I represented,
all
one of them, they're all guilty, but I got them off. And one of those people, when I was away for work, came and did that to my daughter. Or came and did this thing to my daughter. And he's like, and that's why... and I have to live with that. He killed my daughter, did these unspeakable things to her, and it's just like, dang, like, that sucks. Yeah, I mean, now he's sad. And so he's doing this whole trial thing with her, and the coven is, the judges for the coven, the unholy judges or unrightful judges, whatever, they're interesting because they all represent hear no evil, speak no evil, see no evil, which is kind of cool. I liked that design choice about them. And so the coven is pretty much like, if she has a witch's mark, she will be tried as a witch. If she doesn't have a witch's mark, we will move this to human court. So she, they're in the woods and she gets Harvey to check her out. She gets all naked.
She doesn't get naked.
It's just like,
she might, but it doesn't show.
Well, correct. Yeah, it doesn't show her getting naked, but Harvey does give her the once over because she trusts him and loves him.
Dude.
And,
I fully expected her to be like, you can check me out, and then them shave her head and it'd be on her head.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
You had to look at her weird shaped head the rest of the show.
That's true. I thought it was going to be like somewhere weird she couldn't see.
That's why
like,
she had
I don't know, like behind. I thought it was going to be like behind her ear or like in her,
on her brain.
It's inside of her palm or something, somewhere it's under her tongue.
On her palm. How would she?
Like inside of her palm.
On the
like,
inside of her body?
Like on her bone or something,
Yeah, that'd be pretty messed up.
So I thought it was going to be like, and everyone's like, no, don't get naked. Don't, don't demean yourself like that. And she's like, I don't care. I don't have a witch's mark. And then it turns out that she was baptized in the Catholic Church anyway.
Dun, dun,
so when she...
Dun!
Yeah. And so, everyone's just
decided,
like...
I'm a baptizer because something's going on here. I don't like it.
Yeah, so...
Her dad, did we talk about how her dad signed her name for her?
Signed her name for her, and Zelda was a witness,
in the Book of the Beast.
And then her mom... in the Book of the Beast. And then her mom got her baptized.
Was it the 3 days of?
The day before.
And it seems someone else has a claim on the soul of young Sabrina.
It's like, dang, man.
And then the lawyer's like, bullshit. There is no claim. This is a legal document, boy. And then they end up coming to the conclusion that
she can have both.
She has to go to the
dual
school
citizenship
during the weekends, and she can stay with her family and the
mortal
mortals during the week. And then I'm like, dang, she got to go to school 7 days a week.
Yeah. I didn't even think about it like that. I was like, dual citizenship? I'd totally do that. Like, I would love to have dual citizenship as a warlock and a mortal. But no, I'd totally choose to be a full warlock. Like, that'd be cool.
Yeah. So, yeah, we went all the way back there. Now let's go all the way back. I feel like that lawyer will also be in season 2 somewhere.
I thought he was gonna die, honestly. I thought he was gonna go down there to the secret room, to meet with the devil, and the high priest was just gonna bring back his corpse and be like, "That's what we think you're a lawyer. He died." And it's just like, dang, man. Or he's gonna come back. I thought he was gonna come back crappily wearing his skin, as him, be like, I'm not Sabrina's lawyer anymore. And it's like, are you feeling okay? It's like, yeah, I feel fine. It's like, but your skin is dripping off your body. No, it's not.
Okay, yeah, so fast forward 9 episodes or whatever, and we're back in the woods where it all started, baby.
Began. So Sabrina, she's convinced to sign her name in the Book of the Beast to gain power to defeat the people that are trying to take over her town.
And the devil comes up behind her and is like, sign it, girl. I'm a goat man.
I know he's supposed to be terrifying, but he looks so funny.
I don't know. I kind of like the way the devil looks in in DC Comics, the way he's just like an angel, like dressed in a suit.
Oh
but
yeah,
it looks good.
I will say I do like how the devil looks in the TV show Lucifer, even though that's completely unrelated. Yeah.
But
so she signs her name.
Signed that name. She was like having visions and like, oh, this happened. Oh, I caused my boyfriend to kill his brother.
It was honestly like if you
sign it or not.
Yeah, I honestly felt like they put that in there, so it's like, if you've taken a long time to finish watching this series, here's everything that you saw during this series in case you forgot. And it's like, no, I've seen that already. I just her
thinking about everything and trying to decide if this is truly worth it.
Well, she ended up signing it.
S, flashback. A, flashback. D,
exactly.
Flashback. So, and then she eventually signs her full name, and the devil's like, all right, girl, whenever I say so, you got to do whatever I say or whatever. And then she's like, okay.
And I was just like, ugh.
So then they had to go and try to stop the 13 witches because they can't stop. I feel like they still could not stop the angel of death. So
gosh, no. People, I thought Hilda was going to die.
Nah.
I was just like, yes, let her die.
So they go and try to stop the 13 witches. She figures out that she's been having these visions of a burning tree with people hanging from it. And that gives her the clue that she has to burn the witches. And they're like, you can't, no mortal fire can burn us, fool.
She's like, well, good thing I'm not going to use mortal fire. I'm going to use hell fire.
3 witches, they're like only high demons can summon hellfire. That, and there's been 3 witches to do it. And she's like, it's going to be 4. They said weirdly corny way. And then she's like, summon hellfire, boom. And they're like, and they burn. I thought it was kind of weird. I thought that was like one of the only kind of Mary Sue moments, because most of them are explained away. Like when she solves the Rubik's Cube, she looked like her dad's notebook told her how to do it. But at the same time, you find then in the same episode, in a few minutes, you find out that Madam Satan was standing right beside her. So I honestly felt like Madam Satan kind of did it, or she had a lot to do with it. She helped her.
Yeah, you don't see her cast anything, but it's one of those. So after she burns all the witches and everything goes back to normal and everything's hunky dory, she goes and talks to Harvey, and her hair's white and straight now. Yep. It looks real good. Then later, Madam Satan, as the series is, closing out, she is
the
season. Thank you.
Series sounds weird because it implies that there's not going to be a second.
There will be a second season. So as Chapter 10, The Witching Hour, is closing out, Madam Satan is revealing her plan to becoming the Dark Lord's queen to Hawthorne, the teacher that's been hitting on her the whole entire season. Hey girl, when we gonna get that drink? It's like, what? No, just leave her alone. She's not. And so she tells him all this, and then she peels off her face because she's just wearing Miss Hawthorne she's wearing this teacher like a skin suit, a meat puppet, and so she peels off her skin, and we see it for a little bit, and then she eats
really
Hawthorne.
Weird. It doesn't look good.
And then she kills her familiar, which I thought was interesting.
I don't think the CGI looked very good on her monster face.
Oh no.
No. So. Yeah, and then it's revealed that I guess familiars can speak English, because he's like, squawk, squawk, and she's like, stop squawking here, and he
just speak to me, and he's like,
and then he's like, do you think it's wise to kill the teacher? And she's like, I don't care, and then she breaks his neck. I'm like, what the, why?
Yeah, it's like, that's your familiar, man. He was so cool.
He wasn't like, I'm gonna go.
I don't either.
You. I don't.
Yeah.
It's weird.
And she thinks that the whole time because I think it's because he was bad mouthing her and saying that Sabrina is gonna be the queen of hell. I feel like that's the only reason I could think of is because he was like, "Are you sure the Dark Lord isn't trying to make Sabrina queen of hell because her daddy was so powerful or whatever?" And she's like, I'm gonna be queen of hell. I'm gonna break your neck now. Get over here. And he's like, squat, and then he died because she broke his neck. And the principal was like, who are you? And she's like,
Madam Satan.
I'm all these names, blah blah. I'm Lilith, and it's like, oh, okay,
She's
cool.
like, who is Lilith?
She's just like, I'm just
Am I
gonna
supposed
eat
to
you
know who
now.
Lilith is? But yeah, what if Lilith is like the name of a demon? Well,
Yeah. She explains it. Lilith is a demon. Is the
a
first
figure in Jewish mythology that developed early in Babylonian opera. Lilith is often envisioned as a dangerous demon of the night, who is I guess that's who it is.
Lilith?
Adam's-
She first wife. Yeah.
That means okay. Succubus. Okay, interesting. I like all the callbacks and stuff like that. When they're doing the witch exorcism, when they call out all the actual witches and stuff.
Oh yeah, and then they start doing like the Spellman genealogy. That's really cool. So, yeah, this season 2 should be out sometime next year.
Probably around Halloween. I don't know what Stranger Things is
both
isn't.
I don't know. Both seasons were filmed back to back while filming scheduled.
I'm assuming.
Yeah. The filming scheduled to last. So season 2 is apparently going to end. I guess.
You gonna spoil it?
December 5th.
Oh, they're gonna finish.
Oh no.
It?
Yeah, that's when they're gonna finish filming season 2. It's in December 5th, 2018. So yeah.
Okay.
And it's expected to begin February 28th. So yeah. So it makes sense. Nice.
Yeah. So I definitely enjoyed this. If you, I don't know, if you're interested in this, I definitely recommend it. What?
So the person that wrote the Riverdale comic is the same person that wrote Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, that also is the director of the show. So he did follow him on Twitter if you're interested about that. But they have hinted at some Riverdale crossovers happening, because in the show they do mention Riverdale, and that's because they're written by the same person and they're in the same universe apparently.
Sabrina the Teenage Witch is in the same universe as Archie.
Yeah, so that's awesome. That'd be cool. I'm not a personal watcher of Riverdale. I've heard good things.
It sounds actually good.
I had thought about that too. Maybe we can do that as, do like season 1, season 2, and season 3. Or like as a Patreon thing or something. Who knows? Maybe. We'll figure it out. We got weird. It's interesting. We like branching out. This was a fun one to do. So let us know what you think. As always, our intro and outro song is 8-Bit Passion by the Heatley Brothers. You can check us out on iTunes and leave us a review. And anywhere else you listen to podcasts, we're there. And if we're not where you listen to podcasts, let us know and we will get there. Unless it's SoundCloud, then we won't be there currently. This is normally a video game podcast, but we're trying to branch out and do some different things. Just for our sakes and for the sake of the listeners as well. We do still love video games, and we will be bringing you a video game news podcast on Monday. As always, One Up My News is going to be coming out. We're going to be covering that. There's a lot of great news that's been happening so far, so we're excited to bring that to you. That's right. So that's going to be pretty cool to cover on Monday. Be checking out and keeping your ears to the ground for that. As always, we appreciate you listening. Tell your friends, tell your families. You can follow the podcast on Twitter at WannnaBePodcast. You can follow me on Twitter at Aswaylock.
You can follow me at Ryan Divisions.
Yep, on Twitter. You can use the hashtag #PlayOn, the hashtag AskOneUpMe to submit questions or topics for the show. You can email the show, oneupmepodcast@gmail.com. Our website is oneupmegaming.com. All of our social media links are going to be in the description and show notes as always. If you want to have some more spooks after you listen to this for just $1 a month or more, you can listen to our Patreon exclusive Danny Phantom episode where we watched all the episodes of Danny Phantom this month and just did it. It was an awesome episode. It was great to record, super fun. Our friend did an awesome intro for it.
Yeah, you can also go, if you're a patron, and you can go look at that, just the intro if you don't want to listen to the whole episode or something. We have that in a separate file, I guess, or whatever.
Yep. So that's all on there. Check us out on Patreon. We have a Twitch and Reddit and Instagram, and all that is going to be in the show notes as always. We appreciate you listening, and I'm going to go sign the Book of the Damned.
Okay. Go review us if you feel so inclined. And thanks for listening to Spooktober.